everyone, welcome to a very special episode of Entrepreneurial. You guys know me, I'm Ellie, and I'm here with the crew, Creative Visions, with Live Hip Hop Daily each and every Thursday. And today, we are gonna have the greatest conversation. This is totally aligning with a whole bunch of people. This is happening right now. We're all in this space of discovery, and we're finding out that the best key to success as an entrepreneur is to be yourself. And so today I really wanted this to be an episode for my entrepreneurs, my BOSSTIEs in their 20s. Hey BOSSTIEs! Yes, my BOSSTIEs in the 20s, when it's confusing and you're like, I just don't want to work for someone. That's literally it. That's the only thing that you can think of, is as far as you can think. We're going to talk to you guys today, because what I realized the other day was that I went through personal development at 20, and I don't think everybody else went through that. And now that I'm like a little older and I'm kind of putting myself through that again, I'm like, let me share this knowledge with the people who truly need it. Because what I noticed about the people in their 20s, it's not like they're not motivated, completely motivated, ready to go. They just have no instructions. They have no idea where to go. They're excited to find out, but they have no idea where to go. So let me tell you guys. You guys remember this thing? It's called books. Yeah, we're gonna have to get back to those. I don't care if you do it audio, if you do it physical, or if you do it on a iPad, but books are going to be the way that you can start finding your true self and having this success. So today, if you can't think about, if I wanted to sum up this episode in one sentence, I want to tell you guys to stop working outside of your archetype, because the success is found in being your true, authentic self. How many of us are feeling like this is hard? How many of us have started a business and was like, wow, this is overwhelming. This is so overwhelming that I've got 2.5 seconds before I quit. I know it's a lot of y'all out there. And the reason why I think this is happening is because you're operating outside of yourself. You are trying to be something different. So I literally was just talking to the crew like 2 seconds ago. I want to share this with you guys because this is how ridiculous it sounds when you're operating outside of yourself. So I was telling everybody that I think of myself as like this Meryl Streep businesswoman, right? Like I'm like this boss who's coming in, everybody's gonna be like scared, move out the way, that I'm just like this mean and no nonsense business lady, right? That's how I see myself. Everybody was kind of like, what? Like, what? Who told you that? They were looking at me like, ma'am, I've never seen that a day in my life from you. So it's funny how, or they were actually saying like, yes, that girl exists, but it only exists after somebody has fucked up, which is very true. It's very, very true. So I kept seeing myself as this business dragon, right? I kept telling myself, you need to act and operate and create your business and your systems based off of being this dragon lady, this lady who is just gonna run in and take care of everything, and she's gonna bulldoze everything down, right? That's not who I am. That's my defense mechanism. That's my mask. That is the person who comes out after you fucked up the fun pink side of me. That's when you get dragon lady. That's when you get no nonsense. That's when you get straight business. That's when there's no more giggles. It's very, you know you fucked up, right? It's one of those faces. I don't do that very often. That's only when you fuck up. So this means that if I'm sitting here and I'm trying to be this dragon lady, because this is my defense mechanism. This is who saves me from getting hurt. This is the mask that I put on when I feel uncomfortable, when I feel safe, when I don't feel safe, when I feel like I need to run or hide or I need to be something different. This is the mask that I put on. And I found out that I was really trying to run my business with the mask on. And I was trying to run through and do things like a dragon business lady would do. And in real life, I'm a bunny. So for you to be a bunny and you're sitting here and you're thinking that you're dragon ladying everything in your life, it makes no sense to anybody else, but to me, that's how I was operating, right? That's how I was running my business. That's how things were, and I was having a hard time. I was having the worst time, y'all. Like I couldn't find, like I couldn't find clients. I was literally making $0, and I just knew that I should be making more. I knew that this was my dream. I knew that this is what I wanted to do, and I really couldn't find out why. It's because I was trying to be a dragon. The moment I decided to be a bunny and wear real fun clothes and all this pink stuff and to really like literally live my dreams in like this pink, wonderful, gooey like land, right? When I decided to be pink and fluffy was the day everything took off. That was the day everything took off. And do you know why? Because I was me. I wasn't hiding. I wasn't trying to be a dragon. I wasn't trying to put in my head, this is what a dragon lady would do, right? I was just acting. Everything was just flowing. I had this sense of productivity. I had this sense of purpose. I had this sense of, that's not for me. I had boundaries because I knew, I'm a bunny. Bunnies don't fly around and breed dragons. So that's not what I'm going to tell you that I can do for you. I can tell you that I can do the bunny stuff. So this has helped me a lot. Knowing my entrepreneur archetype has helped me a lot. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can find this. But you know, I got to talk about you guys following me first. Let's talk about that. If you guys are not following me at entrepreneur.ish.podcast, you should be. And do you know why? Because I post every single day. I post clips from the previous show, and I also talk to you guys in my stories. You guys get to see a lot of behind the scenes, and you guys get to keep up with what's going on here. And you guys are gonna see that I'm gonna post some of these personality quizzes. A lot of this information that I'm giving to you today is gonna be in my stories. So I want you guys to keep up with that so that you guys can start finding your true authentic self so that you can be a success easily because you're just being yourself. I put on my 2024, I forgot the year first. Hey. Thanks, Joe. But I put on my 2024 vision list or vision board that I was gonna get paid for being me. I put it in big pink letters and it said, I get paid for being me. And I've always wanted to be that girl. When I was growing up, I used to tell everybody, I don't want to work. I don't believe in money. And my mom would laugh at me. She was like, you don't believe in money? That's fucking funny. Like, that's hilarious, girl. You will learn. She was like, you keep not believing in money all you want to. You really get hit in your face. So when I got older and I had to start believing in money because that's what my college took and that's what the bus took, that's what it took for me to buy a pizza, for me to get my hair done, for me to wear my fancy clothes, it was money. And then I was like, shit, money, it really is something I need to worry about. Once I got there, I was like, how am I gonna make money? And then this was me. I was in my 20s and I was like, I'm gonna make money as a dragon lady. Because that's who I wanted to be so bad. I don't know. I went to school at Georgia State. Shout out to all my Panthers. What's up? But I would be downtown, and I don't know about y'all, but I was at the science building. So I was at that apex where all the people were walking around from all their big, pretty office buildings, all the lawyers, things like that. And I would see these ladies in their pencil skirts and their slick back buns with the little Chinese chopsticks in them, with these high heels with the red bottoms, and I was like, ooh, that's me. I'm gonna be that. I was like, I pick to be her, right? And so I thought that lady, in order to be this lady, in order to be this like fierce lady, I had to embody that in not only my style of clothes, I started dressing differently, I started talking differently, I started acting differently, because everybody says be your higher self, Be the person that you want to be, right? I see that all day long when I'm scrolling. Everybody's teaching you, be your higher self, be your higher self, be your higher self. But it's funny. They don't tell you to learn about yourself first so that you can define what that higher self is. They think you're just supposed to know. You guys, I mean, honestly, it takes some self-reflection to really understand who your higher self was. But I had picked the lady that I saw walking down the street. I had picked the lawyer girl. And then I tried to be the lawyer girl for a minute. I tried to get like a real corporate job. I tried to get real, stockings and pantsuits. And I didn't do very well in that environment. And then I was like, oh no, I'm failing because I want to be this slick back bun girl with the black pencil skirt. Like, that's who I want to be. This is who I want to be. She makes all this money. She's been making money since she was like 20 years old. Like, I want to be her. This is who I want to be. And so that's what I tried to be. So all my next jobs were all very uptight, very, let's work in an office building. Let's work downtown. Let's work in Alpharetta, which is where the money is made in Georgia. If y'all don't know about Alpharetta, oh my God. That's where all the businesses are. Top businesses are either in Atlanta or they're in Alpharetta. So when I said I was working with people who made at least $275,000 a year, those are my peers. And they were dragon ladies. I even read this book when I was growing up, that the nice girl doesn't get the corner office. That is a book that's been around since like 90s or 80s. You guys should check it out. It's by this Jewish lady, and she was talking about how when she was a nice girl, she didn't get her job, but as soon as she started to be a no-nonsense, data-oriented dragon lady, it was when she got her corner office. So I was like, well, fuck, that's the reason why I'm down here answering fucking phones. I'm nice. So let me stop being nice. I was like, I want my corner office. I'm gonna get real mean on y'all. The smile is gone. But resisting smiling, resisting being myself, resisting the red hair, resisting this is me. Like, I was resisting all of this. So I was I remember one time my uncle was like, so are you a vampire or something? You only wear black? And I was like, oh, he just doesn't understand my style. But it was me. I was a problem. I didn't understand myself. So he was like, what is this bunny doing in a dragon costume? Like, this looks really stupid. So that's what I mean by, guys, like, sometimes we're trying to be something completely different. And I'm going to be super honest. It was not until maybe 2 years ago where I started to lighten up a little bit, where I was like, I'm sick of being this dragon. And I started to like let the mask go a little bit. And what happened when I lost the mask? I lost my job. So around the same time I was coming into being myself, it was the same time that I was laid off. So it was like, damn, maybe I shouldn't be myself. Myself is broke. Myself was too nice and she did not get her corner office. So I was like, oh, okay, let's find out who I am. And I was like, fuck, I guess I have to. I had lost everything that I built in my 20s. Let me tell y'all, when I was 29, I had a 5-bedroom house with a basement. I had 2 luxury cars. I was making well over 6 figures, and I was married. So I had hit my 20s. I hit every single goal, and I was miserable. Like, I mean, oh my God, I was suffocated. I was so suffocated that one time I went to go see my mom. She was like, do you need anxiety pills? I have some. Like, you look stressed. You look like you need to be medicated. Now, when your mom suggests anxiety pills, you have a fucking problem. And I was like, what do you mean? And I was literally like, oh, that's why I'm always on the brink of tears. Like, I was literally living my life always on the brink of tears, telling myself, oh, it's fine. Just hold it down because you're a dragon lady. Don't cry. yes, I fully lived out Dragon Lady, but the whole time on the inside, I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here. I'm going to die here. And I guess God heard me because he said, let's get rid of all of this Dragon Lady shit. It was not pleasant. I'm gonna say that. Being stripped of your mask, something that you have decided is yourself, even though it's not, but you've decided that this mask is you, really brings you to yourself because I don't know. I was forced. I hope that you guys choose to go on a self journey. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you ask for the right thing, and God's like, "Oh, let's destroy your reality for a second. Oh, you want peace? Oh, no friends. Oh, you need some rest? Laid off. Done. I got you." So yeah, be specific about in your prayers, okay? For real. But honestly, I was at this point where I had everything I wanted, but I was suffocating. And then I was like, okay, I'm getting rid of the mask. And then, like I said, I lost my job. So then I was like, great. But during this time of no job, but I had purpose at that point. I knew I wanted to do the show. I was able to put my whole self into this show. And in the beginning, I didn't know what the show was. And this is what I mean by you have to know your archetype for your business. I had a business that I had to pitch. And when you start a business, everybody always asks you to have some type of mission statement, something that you can pitch to people. You need like 2 to 3 sentences about what your business is, their values, and what it could do for them, right? When you don't know yourself, somebody asks you to define your business, it's like defining yourself. It's the best way I could put it. So for me, I was like, I'm so complicated. I can't do this. I'm like the most complicated person ever. I'm really not. I'm really not. But because I was so confused, it felt very complicated. Because I was like, I knew I was a bunny, but I was like, I'm this dragon lady. Like, I fucking promise y'all. Like, I saw my life as dragon lady. Like, I know I can do it. Like, get me back there, right? Get me back to dragon lady. And I couldn't. And I was fighting myself. I was like, don't be a bunny. But then I was like, this feels comfortable. Can I please be a bunny? And then I give myself permission to be a bunny. And then, oh my God, everything was amazing after that. I've literally just been getting more and more into my bunny. And so recently, somebody told me that I should do my life path and my life path number. And this really, really kind of helped me define my archetype. So right now, I'm going to ask you guys, do you know your life path number? And if not, let's do it together. So take your birthday, and you are going to add all the numbers in your birthday month, date, and year, and you're going to add them up. And mine added up all together to be 31. And then those numbers, unless it's an 11, a 22, or a 33, you add those two numbers together and get your life path number. So I want you guys to do that for a second. I'm gonna give you the time. All right. So my number ended up being a 4. What you guys get? Do y'all know your life path numbers? You're not doing math right now? Okay, I'm gonna come back to the crew. So the formula is your entire date. It's your, so mine is 0622 and then my year, right? And then you add up all those digits together. And unless you have an 11, a 22, or a 33, you add those 2 digits together and you get your whole number, your 1-digit whole number, life path number. So mine is 622. Yeah, I got you. I'll come back. So mine was 10 plus. So anyway, I had my life path number is 4. And so that meant that I am a builder. That meant that I like stability, practicality, and hard work. And I was like, what? I'm not stable. What are you fucking talking about? I was like, what? Stable? We have the wrong number. What are you talking stability, practicality, and hard work. What did you have, Liv? You have 3?
Yeah.
All right, so you are creativity, self-expression, and joy. Which is definitely a Liv. What's yours, Joe?
Man, I'm still.
You're still figuring it out. We'll come back to So I'm gonna go through the other numbers. I got you. I'm gonna go through the numbers. I'm gonna go through the numbers, and then when you find out who you are, Joe, we're gonna go. So number 1 is leadership, independence, and innovation. 2 is cooperation, diplomacy, harmony. 3 is creativity, self-expression, and joy. 4 is stability, practicality, and hard work. 5 is freedom, versatility, adventure. 6 is nurturing, responsibility, balance. 7 is introspection, wisdom, spiritual awareness. 8 is ambition, success, material accomplishment. And 9 is compassion, humanitarian, and spirituality. Now, I know that was a very long list. If you want to, you can pause. You can replay this episode. You can do your math, figure out what your number is. But I need you guys to take a look at that number. Did you figure it out?
So after we had your birthday.
Okay, so you're 314, right?
I got 2012. Is that
okay?
Do I add the 20 and the 12 together now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
20 and the 12.
Okay, 32.
32, so then add those 2 together. 3 and 2 is 5. So you're 5. So you are freedom, versatility, and adventure. And goddamn, if that's not Joe, I don't know. Freedom, versatility, and adventure. And that is you, Joe, like for real. Like for real. So this is what I mean. Knowing exactly, but it's real, like for real. So yeah, I love this. I'm watching people find out their archetype. Like this is what I mean. Once you know your life path number, you'll start to be like, oh, okay, I'm acting outside of myself. So I was like, stability. Why? Practicality. Who? Me? Ellie is delusional as fuck. Like, what are we talking about? And I was like, hard work. I'm lazy. I was like, no, I'm super lazy. And then when I really thought about it, y'all, I love stability. The reason why me and my ex didn't work is because that man was total chaos, and it was bothering me. I was like, can you calm the fuck down? Can you just stabilize yourself? He couldn't, because he is chaos. His number was definitely a number of chaos. So we were not compatible, but no one told me this shit at 16. So, you know, how was I supposed to know that I'm over here dating somebody that is literally detrimental to my health? He's breaking up my stability, and that's number 1 on my priority list. So now, the person that I'm dating is a 33, so he's super special. And I already knew that, but of course I did the date chart. And I know when he watches this, he's gonna be like, just know that I love you. No, so, but for real, so I was like, oh no, I'm not practical, but I am. Y'all, I have a routine for everything. Like fucking everything. And then I was like, oh, I don't do hard work. And then I was like, what are you talking about? Like, when are you not working? Like, even on your off days, you're watching Oprah to like take notes on how to do. You're not lazy. You're not like this. I don't know who I thought I was, but that I don't know. So now when I was like, okay, and then it said that I like to analyze things. I was like, yes, that's what I do. So now I know that if somebody is not helping me be stable, nah, that's not it. If my business is not trying to help stabilize others, then I'm not living in my purpose. My job is to stabilize things. That's my job. And so now I know that my business, my job on this podcast is to stabilize y'all. Y'all are living chaotically, so come here. I have all these practical solutions and all of these things that I do to stabilize you guys. Come over this way, right? I'm gonna teach you guys some hard work and how it's not that bad. Like that's really That's really what I do. So now that I know that, it's easy for me. So like when people ask me what I do, my job is to teach you guys how to drop this itch. That's it. I'm trying to teach you how to be stable so that you want to finish doing this. I know, imagine doing college and they kept changing what courses you needed to take to graduate. You'd be like, what the fuck? I'm trying to make a plan here, right? This is how it feels being an entrepreneur, because there is no course. The course changes every 2 minutes, every new client, all of that. But yes, that's really what I wanted to get you guys to see, is that when you find out who you are, things become a little clearer. So I already got some oohs and ahs. So let's do entrepreneurial archetypes, okay? Let's see who you are. You can be a combination of things. Just know, guys, this is not an exact science. I know what I'm saying seems like, oh, it's got to be this is for you. Like I said, personal reflection is going to be the way that you guys really figure out who you are. But these are just tips and things that helped me kind of ground myself, kind of understand what was going on in there. So the first are, out of the 5 entrepreneurial archetypes are innovator, pioneer. I'm going to move this over here because I hate looking to the side. So an innovative pioneer is somebody who is a visionary. They're a risk taker, and they always want to be creative. They're going to constantly seek new ideas and challenges. They're not going to be afraid of risk, and they thrive on innovation and disruption. Then we have the strategist. That's an analytical, strategic, methodical person. Hi guys, that's me. And they excel in planning and executing well thought out strategies. They value data and market research, and they seek sustainable growth. So that's why I knew that was me, is because I was like, I don't have to grow fast, but I gotta know I'm gonna grow. I gotta know exactly what's coming in here, or I'm gonna be off the fucking walls. Like, I can't do this. So the other one is social impact advocate. These people are very compassionate. They're very mission driven, super socially conscious. They're going to try to balance profit and purpose. They're always going to seek to make a positive impact on society with whatever they do. And they're definitely going to have a cause and a mission that they could state at any time. We've had plenty of entrepreneurs like that on here. And the next one is a serial entrepreneur. These people are adaptable, resilient, and opportunistic. They thrive on starting and growing new businesses. And I don't mean the people who quit businesses. I mean the people who actually grow businesses. I know a lot of us are like, oh, that's me. Serial means you have stuff going on as well. Like, not like you started something and then quit it and then you want to call yourself a serial entrepreneur. No, I mean like in tandem. I mean like while you're doing the next thing. That's serial entrepreneur. And a lot of these people are often involved in multiple ventures at the same time. And they're not afraid to learn from failures and pivots. The next one is lifestyle entrepreneur. These are people who are freedom oriented. They really want a work-life balance, and they're really seeking to be independent. So these people are gonna prioritize personal time. They're gonna prioritize their lifestyle over their growth, and they're gonna choose business models that allow them to work from home and that allow them to have flexible hours. So, which one are you guys? You thought about it? This really helped me because now that I know I'm stable, I know that I'm a strategist. Before I knew that I was stable, I probably would have picked an innovative pioneer, and I'm not. That's all I gotta say. I have new ideas sometimes. Maybe I'm a little bit of a innovative pioneer and a strategist, but like the problem with being a pioneer is that there's no track. You're making your own, so it's gonna bother me to make my own track, even though I've done it before. So maybe I am a little bit of both. But that is a fun thing about being an archetype. You get to sit down and you do this. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up during a time where you would be on Facebook and there would be like some type of personality quiz, and I would take all of them. I would literally do all of them. So if you guys are looking for a really good personality quiz, I'm going to give you guys the top one. This is the one that everybody uses. They use it in corporate America. They use it, literally, I've seen it in like all the business conferences. Everybody's like, oh, what's your Myers-Briggs? So look that up, Myers-Briggs. Let me say the whole thing. Hold on, let me get the notes, guys, because you guys know I gotta tell you exactly what it is. I wrote down a lot today. Here it is. Okay, Myers-Briggs type indicator. And so this is a personality assessment. It's long. It's about 250 questions. You gotta really want to get to know yourself, okay? However, if you make it through, it's gonna tell you whether or not you are introverted or extroverted, if you are sensing or you're doing intuition, if you are thinking or feeling, and if you are judging or perceiving. So mine is an ENTJ, and so that means that I am extroverted, intuition, thinking, and judging. So that's how I do my business, is that I'm gonna go talk to people, and then I'm gonna use my intuition to figure out if that's gonna work well. Then I'm gonna use and honestly it's an F. I'm a feeler, so it probably changes from time to time. Maybe I used to be a feeler when I was younger, or the first time I took the test I wasn't. I don't know. I'm definitely a feeler. And then the last thing is judging or perceiving. So I'll definitely judge a situation before I actually perceive what's going on. So that's definitely me. So I like doing it because a lot of white people do this. Go up to a white person and say that you're an ENTJ. They're gonna freak the fuck out, and they're gonna tell you their whole fucking life. They're gonna tell you everything about themselves. When they found out what they were, they're gonna be like, I'm an INTJ. I'm an INFP. Like, you're gonna have like this big moment of, we're all the same. We all know who we are. This is something that they do. And it's crazy because I know a lot of black folks have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. Have no idea. And why? Because in our communities, it's not really preached for you to know yourself. I was literally just saying this earlier. I was like, when y'all see a Karen, that lady is a Karen. Heart and soul. And you can't tell her shit. You can have 1 million people tell her that she is inconsiderate and wrong, and she will sit down and she will clap back at all of y'all and tell you, I'm not, and I deserve to feel this way, and this is how I'm gonna be. Karen is Karen is Karen, okay? And she don't give a fuck about what you think about her and how she moves. Now, why are we not like that? We make fun of this lady, however she knows herself, and we're laughing at her. This is what I have a problem with, is that we're not embracing who we really are. And when we don't embrace who we really are, that's when there's all this friction, that's when there's all this stuff going on. And it's because we're not standing on business, right? We're not standing on business of ourselves. We're not being who we are. We are trying to be other people, and because we're trying to be other people, things aren't going well. It's just not going well. So definitely take a look, find your Myers-Briggs, enjoy who you are, be who you are, and let's talk about it. Let's be loud and proud about it. Let's be excited about the fact that I'm a stable bunny. So I'm gonna be like a bunny with some glasses and their protractor. Like that's who I'm thinking of myself now. And that's who I think of myself as. I'm hopping along on this little life path of mine. And the reason why we have to do that is because this is gonna make your life so much easier. It's gonna make your life easier. Do y'all have something in your business that you just can't seem to do? I know for me, it was it was emailing people. It was like sending messages about my show, telling them that I had a show, telling people like, hey, you know, I want you to be a part of this. Mine was like reaching out. And why I was reaching out was because I wasn't sure about what I was building. So then I wasn't sure if I wanted you to be a part of it, right? And so because of that, it was so hard for me to send the email, because I wasn't like, oh, they're gonna love this. I was still going, they might like it. Am I bothering them? Is this too much? Like, I had a lot of those questions. And that's the problem, is because I wasn't really sure about what I had going on, so I wasn't really sure if they were gonna like it. So I wasn't really sure if I should send the emails. And I wasn't really sure if this is a waste of time. And I wasn't really sure if this is what I should be doing. It was a lot of confusion, right? The moment I knew exactly what my show was about, I knew exactly who to talk to. I was like, oh shit, I have the perfect person, right? And why? Because I knew exactly what I was talking about, and I knew who else was gonna love it immediately. There was no confusion. There was nothing else going on. I was like, this person needs me in their life. And let me tell you why. It was easy for me to sell to them. It was easy for me to like say who I was, what I wanted to do, and why. Because I knew who I was. I knew that I can analyze the fuck out of some numbers, right? You have customer data, I got you. Like, I got you. This is me. I love people. I love talking to them. I love figuring out what are the bottlenecks, and I love figuring out how to make a system to get rid of all of that shit. I hate a messy kitchen, so I am going to come up with a plan to make sure that that kitchen is never messy a fucking again. And I said it just like that. Do you know how fast I got that client? I got that client so fast. They flew me to Switzerland after that. Why? Because my pitch was amazing. It was amazing. And why? Because I was my pink bunny self. I was not trying to be a dragon lady. I said for shit sure, I can do this job. And because I was so convinced that I could do this job, they gave it to me. Because I was speaking from my soul. I was speaking from a place that was authentic. And even though the work is hard, I can do it because it's me. I can do it easily because it's me. This is the reason why a lot of us are failing right now. And it's because we're sitting there and we started our business under a mask. And that mask is coming up because we have to keep wearing that mask every single day, every hour, every action. So you're confused, and it's causing you to procrastinate. It's causing you not to be able to make decisions. It's causing you not to put a system in place because you're not really sure what you're doing. That's it. The moment you find out that I'm a stable bunny, it's the moment that you can go sell a stable fucking bunny. Why? Because you know all the people who are unstable and not bunnies and need you in your life, right? It's very easy. It's like a simple puzzle now. It's like, oh, you're missing me. Duh. Let me go give it to you. Let me show up. What's up? Y'all need me. And then they're like, we need you. Thank you. This is why it's hard to sell. This is why it's hard to show your music. This is why it's hard to talk about your pictures. This is why it's hard for you to make a business plan. This is why it's hard for you to put money aside, to make a business account, to start your business credit. This is why it's hard for you to trademark things. This is why it's hard. You're not even sure if you want it. You would spend and really what hit me is that, okay, I spent all this time, like I said, I got laid off. I had to go find my own clients, blah, 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 right? All this stuff happened, right? In between that time, I was like, yo, the moment I get, where's this one? That one, okay. The moment I get my money together, I was like, I'm going on vacation. I'm going on vacation, y'all. I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. No less than 30 days after I got paid for the first time, I was planning a fucking vacation. 30 days. I was like, oh, y'all really gonna pay me? Like, we got 2 checks? Oh, let's go. Like, fuck it. Like, let's run this, right? And so because of that, I was like, okay, how fast did I get that together? October was when I had the idea. November was when I put the money together, and I was on my fucking trip on January. Boom. Done. Why? Because I knew that this is what I wanted to do, right? And I made sure that I put the money aside and that I had the time. I did it easily. It wasn't hard for me to make that decision. I didn't give a fuck about sacrificing any of the things that I want. I bought different clothes. I, sacrificed on different foods. Like, I did all of this, and it was easy because I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I knew that this money is not being thrown away. I knew that I'm putting this money towards something I really, really wanted, right? Now, if you can't do that, if I can do that for a vacation that I really, really wanted, why can't I do that for my business? I keep saying I really, really want this, right? We keep saying that this is the thing that I'm gonna do. This is the thing I quit my job for. This is the thing I'm not sleeping for. This is the thing I'm broke for. This is the thing that I'm literally working with people I fucking hate to get things done so that I can be here, right? at this point, I need you to really sit down and think, is this what you really want? Or is this the type of a way that you really want to run this business? Look at your archetype. Find out more about yourself. Because as soon as you find out more about yourself, all of this will be easy. You will have an idea in October, put money towards it in November, and be fucking executing it by January. Because that's you. That's what you really want to do. It's easy. Sacrifices, the hard work, the long nights don't mean shit to you because this is you, right? And we all say that we want to do something that we love, and we all say that we want to do something that matters. We all say all these things, which is why we start our business. But then we forget to align ourselves so that we can have a business that's us, that we can define easily, that we can walk to any bank and tell them exactly why I'm gonna make you $1 million. Because I know me. I believe in me. I know exactly what I bring to the table and how fast I can bring it to the table. So who's gonna stop you at that point? Right now, what's stopping you is your own confusion. And that's really it. So I wanted to share this with you guys because we are starting a challenge in February, and we're going to do it with this BOSSTIE book. And with this planner, we are going to start writing our 3 priorities every single day. I'm going to put them in my story, and we're going to start talking about your top 3 priorities for the day. And here's how I want you to write your top 3 priorities, okay? I want you guys to take your priority and make sure that one priority is something that your truest self would love. Your absolute truest self will love. You do another thing that reflects your values. So that's number 2. And you do another thing that strengthens your own personal innate traits. So whatever you're super good at, that's what you're going to focus on. You're going to strengthen that tool a little bit more. So I'm going to repeat that. First thing is something for your truest self. Your truest self, the thing that will make you absolute happiest. That's going to be top priority. The second thing is what's going to work with your values. Like, what's something that moves your values? What's something that pushes you in that direction? So, okay, what I mean by that is one of my values is I'm very family oriented. So if I'm going to say that I'm family oriented, my actions need to reflect that. So on my top priorities is to call a family member because it helps me with my values. Like, it helps me stay connected to what really means something to me. Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. But that second thing that you do, first thing is what makes you happiest. So if that's running, if that's going outside, I don't know what it is. Whatever makes you happiest. Doing a puzzle, playing a game. I don't really know what makes you happiest. Whatever it is that makes you happiest, find some time. I don't know how much time you have. I'm not gonna put a time limit to it. Just make sure you put it in your day. The second thing is something that you value. So like I said, I value family. So I'm gonna put that I'm gonna call my dad. I'm gonna talk to my brother. I'm gonna spend time with my mom. I'm gonna do something fun with my niece, like whatever that is. And then the last thing is something that strengthens your own God-given talents. So whatever your God-given talent is, maybe you dance, maybe you sing, maybe you act, maybe you're strategic, whatever it is, the thing that you're greatest at, you're gonna put that as a priority. And we're gonna do this all February. This particular February has 29 days. We're in a leap year, y'all. And we're here on every Thursday. We end on a leap year. We are going to be here in studio on the 29th of February, which I thought was so significant and felt so special. So I wanted to do this challenge for that because I want to see on this magical date how much prioritizing your true self has changed the BOSSTIEs. Let's just see. I'm going to do it too. And I'm going to talk about it. You know, I can't shut up about my life. That's what the show's about. So I'm definitely going to share what is happening to me and what's changing me. So follow at entrepreneur.ish.podcast. You guys know sometimes my stories is like one thing, I'm done. Sometimes I'm telling you a whole ass books in there, so you never know what you're gonna get. But as I learn, I'm going to give, because that is something that I realized that I have not been doing. So that is the challenge that we are going to be entering in February. It is write your top 3 priorities. We're going to do 1 for your truest self, 1 for something you value, and 1 thing to strengthen your God-given talents. That is what we're doing in February. And I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear about what that journey is like, what it feels like finding yourself. Because let me tell you, honey, I cried. I cried a lot. And I think I had to mourn poor me who thought the other way, right? Like, I think that's what it was. But a lot of my self-discovery came with tears. It came with not so subtle life lessons. Let me just say that. Also, I surround myself with people who are not yes men, who are definitely people who tell me about myself. So I'm gonna share this. He's gonna laugh, but okay. I was talking to my boyfriend. We have like these existential conversations over breakfast. I don't know what it is, but this is just what we talk about. And I was talking about how I loved being a talk show host and how I love doing this and that. And he made this face, and I was like, what's this face? Like a face where they have something to say, but like, you know, they ain't say it. Like one of those faces where it's like, oh, you like being a talk show host. Like one of those faces. Right? And I was like, I'm about to get real offended. So I was like, what's the face for? I was like, let me ask before your dragon comes out. Right? And so I was like, what's the face for? He was like, I don't know if you're ready to hear it. And I was like, come on, try me. I've heard a lot worse. What do you mean? He was like, oh, because I was telling him like how me and my dad don't really have the greatest relationship. So he was like, oh, so you can talk to strangers, but you can't talk to your dad. That's crazy. And I was like, oh, you said that out loud. How dare you?
Oh.
I was like, oh, for real? Okay. And then he was like, pow, pow. And I was like, yes. I know, right? I mean, but
he tried serious. Got it out. Spit it out so quick. I got it right. Yo.
No, I mean it. And you know, it was so funny. I was sitting there and I was like I was really about to, like, everything in me was like, bring the fucking dragon. Like, I don't know where she at. I don't know if she's asleep, but she needs to come out of here. Like, no, I was that serious. Like, I'm about to shake the table. Messed up my set talking about
Well, why?
No, but then something told me, Ellie, just be quiet for a minute. So I held the face probably longer than I could. And I was like, you know what? I want to be mad at you, but you read me to filth. You read me to filth. So do you guys know what I did? The next day I called my dad. And do you know why? Because I was like, no, fuck that. I don't want to be that girl. I was like, I don't want to be that girl. And the fact that he's sitting there, and it's very odd, because again, this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes we see ourselves as one thing, right? And everybody's like, I don't really know if that's you. I'm literally telling y'all that family is like my top thing. I don't talk to my dad. It's not making sense. It's not making sense. And sometimes we do this. We talk about who we are and what we love and our values and these things, but we don't really act that way. Why aren't we acting that way? And it's because we're still in mask mode. I was so hurt. I mean, I'm a typical girl with daddy issues. Let's just say that. But I know my dad, and I can't call him, and he's still alive. So I had to say those 3 things, and I had to put my big girl panties on, and to call him. Do you know what happened? God made sure that man didn't answer the phone. And then he asked me what would happen if he was never going to answer that phone and I was literally on my way to Kroger because I was going to talk to him while I was shopping. I'm in the Kroger parking lot crying. I mean, full blown, just crying, because then I was so happy that I had that moment, and that my boyfriend's fucked up comment made me go down this route, because it made me realize you really do love your dad, and you really do want to talk to him. So do it. Why? Because it's a value of yours. And maybe whatever issues y'all have, just talk about it. Because then now you can sit down and you can get over some of this shit that's in your way. You're trying to move and be your highest self, but you can't do some of the things that your highest self would do. My highest self would love to have a great relationship with my father. So let's try to establish one as best as I can. I have to put some sort of effort towards it, because that's what it means, something to me. It's a value of mine. It's something that I would really, really help me, right? With a lot of things. I mean, if you guys know, people with daddy issues or mommy issues, you end up having this hole that you try to fill with other people. And that's how I ended up in my last relationship, was because I had daddy issues. So it was cool that he had issues too, because I was used to that shit, right? So this is what I'm talking about. Sometimes you need somebody bold enough to pow pow, right? Sometimes, but when they do it, first of all, it's got to be the right person. If I didn't love this man down, this was not gonna be okay. I would have flipped that fucking table, and I would have left breakfast all over the damn floor. Completely over. But I knew what he was saying came from a really good place. He was really I've heard you talk about, because we just went on this vacation together. So, you have deep conversations. He was like, I've heard about it. It hurts you. I was like, it hurt this? You can fix something that hurts you, was what he was trying to say. And then that's space and time. So I did. And then do you guys know, right after that, after I'm sitting there in the parking lot, an hour later, he was like, my dad called, and he was like, hi, I've been wanting to talk to you. And we had a very, very nice conversation that I really needed to have. I'm trying not to cry, that's why I'm pausing. But I'm thankful for that moment. I'm thankful for that pow pow. Thank you. It hurt, but that hole needed to be open so I could heal it. And that was it. I had put so much masking tape on that thing, and I had filled it up with ramen noodles, and I had sealed it and painted over it and put a poster on top of it. I was never gonna open that hole again, right? But it needed to be open, because now I don't have it. I don't have this. There's weights lifted when you do this, when you know yourself, when you actually try to be who you really want to be, even if it fucking hurts, even if it's something that you weren't prepared to experience. That's why I said, now when I'm telling y'all about finding your true self, this is a journey. This is a journey. This is a commitment, and it's a journey. You are going to, once you ask for something, you will receive it. So I promise y'all, if you ask God to start sending you signs about who you are, and you go seeking who you are, you won't fuck around and find out. However, it's gonna turn out to be the greatest blessing that you ever had, but please don't think it's gonna be smooth sailing. No ma'am. It's not gonna be smooth sailing. It is gonna come with a lot of tears, but behind those tears, behind that hard work, behind those pow pow conversations, there is a beautiful rainbow. There's a lot of sunshine, there's a lot of green grass, there's a lot of great things that you are gonna get from that. So I hope you guys enjoyed my lovely story time. We talked about a lot. We got a little closer today, I feel like. That's how I'm feeling. So when it comes to creating your plan, after you guys figure all this stuff out about yourself, because as we're going through these top priorities, as we're sitting here and we're doing things that align with our true selves, we're going to start seeing things around us change, because the mask is coming off. And this is what I want you guys to do in this moment, because when the mask comes off, The mask is off, baby. You can't put it back on. That's the hard thing. That defense mechanism, you gotta let it go. You got to let the dragon go. She gotta go sleep. And you gotta let the bunny shine in their bunny ways. So the first thing is you're gonna find that you're very self-aware. And when you're self-aware, the only thing that you need to do is be sure that you don't betray yourself. So now that you know who you are, don't betray that. That's gonna be my only number one rule. If you know yourself, you start acting outside of yourself, do not expect good things to come to it. So I'm gonna say, you can try to be somebody else, you'll be pushed right back to who you really are. So if you wanna skip some steps, save some time, don't betray yourself. Find out who you are, and then start saying fuck you to all the people and all the offers and all the things that do not align with that. Now that sounds crazy, but it really is. Y'all think about, do you know how I think about when I start saying fuck you? I think about Cat Williams saying I'm a boy demon. Like I think about that. So then when something happens, I'll be like, I'm a boy demon. Like I don't want to do that. I make it really like, oh, that's gross. I really make it like, one thing that I told myself that I was gonna stop doing was I was gonna stop doing so much output and start giving people the space to help me instead of the other way around. I felt like I've always been like, oh, how can I help you? How can I help you? How can I help you? But I never said, how can you help me? I never said that. I never asked that question. So I was like, I actually do need help, and I've been asking for help, but I have not been giving anybody space to help me. So how is that gonna work? So that's what I said. If I'm doing something and it's like, I'm like, oh, how can I help you? I have to stop myself and I have to be like, I'm a boy, Damon. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I go, okay, just wait. And the other thing that I realized is silence is key. A lot of us will talk ourselves into some shit we don't want to fucking do. And I've seen this happen where you're like, hey, do you want to come to this party? And then if you don't shut up, you end up saying, I'll pay for it. The fuck? Why'd you shut up? Give that person time to give you an answer before you start committing money. Wait a minute. But we do this in business. We're like, oh, would you like to, join my membership program? I'll give it to you for a discount. Why'd you say that? You didn't even explain what the program was, or you already giving them a discount. Like, we talk too fast. You didn't say, hey, I want to talk to you about my program. Okay, allow them to be like, what's the program? Now you can have certain conversations back and forth. When they start talking, just shut up. And what I've also noticed, this is for women, I like to chat. When you're talking to a man, though, they don't like to chat. They have very long pauses in between thoughts. And if you don't shut up long enough, that man's never going to finish his thought. And it's so true. It's so true. And it's hard because, that's what happened to me at the breakfast thing. I was about to go off, but then I was like, let me take this in for a second. Let me just be quiet and understand what he said. And then after that, he started to explain what he meant. Like, we got into it a little bit more. But if I had already flipped the table, this man was never going to finish his thought to a point where I would want to see him again. And I promise y'all, I say 5 seconds, because if we pause for 5 seconds, you guys will figure out how long it is. This is something that they do in the police. This is something that they do when they're interrogating people. This is a top sales tactic. So this isn't just me and my discoveries. This is psychology. It's when you talk to people, shut up. This is the biggest thing that I got. I was at, you guys know when I started my journey, I was at the bakery and I went up to, I forget who it was. But when I find them, I'll put in my stories. We'll do a recap of this and I'll put the person who it was. But I went up to them and I asked them a question. I was like, wow, I love what you said. I have trouble asking people for money. And she was like, so how do you ask people for money? And I was like, so I start talking to them about what I have. I start offering discounts, like I was just saying. She was like, how about you just say it's $1,000 and shut up? And I was like, what? She was like, tell them your price and shut up. And I was like, how is that gonna work? Oh, I tried it. Shut up. Okay. Like, for real. Just be like, my price is $5,000 a month. Just say it. You sitting there as confident as fuck in that moment tells the other person she's not budging on that. Fuck. Okay. It makes them sit and have some time to think about their finances and whether or not they can afford you, or if they gotta move on. Let them decide to reject you. A lot of us are rejecting ourselves first. We're like, oh, they don't want it. Oh, we gotta give them a discount. Oh, we gotta do something extra for them. Oh, we gotta go do it at their house instead of them come to the studio. Or, oh, we gotta do, I can't tell y'all how many people were like, oh, it's a Zoom podcast? I wanna do a Zoom podcast. No, bitch, you better get the fuck up and come over here. Like, this is what it is. You gotta come here. And the reason why I mean that for real, is because when you step in this space and you experience this whole thing of getting yourself ready, sitting in front of all these lights, getting to meet the crew, seeing the studio, you guys get to really have this moment of, wow, look at where my business has taken me. You can't do that on a Zoom call. You can't. Unless you're gonna do a Zoom call with the news and they like bring like the cameras and stuff to your house or something like that. Other than that, no, you have to get up and you have to come experience this. You have to come experience us. You have to come experience Live Hip Hop Daily and Creative Visions. You have to experience it. We're an experience. We're not something that you can really understand on paper. However, what I learned with us, when you come meet us, oh, you're locked in. You want to come here all the time. You want to figure out how these people can stay in your life as much as possible. I can't do that over a Zoom call. And I had to realize that and stand 10 toes down on that, right? This is living your purpose. I know for me, I got to meet you in person. That's it. Done. So I got to meet people in person. So that's what it is. The other thing, once you find out who your true self is, you're going to be able to start making all these decisions super fast because you know who you are. Like I said, I don't let anybody tell me, oh, we're going to do a Zoom version of my podcast, because I know that my podcast is not a Zoom version. I used to. I don't anymore. That's it. And so when people ask, the decision is made, we're on to the next decision. I really don't think about it again. The problem is if you don't know who you are, you're going to be like, how can I make this work for this person? Instead of how can I make it work for me? When working for me is coming to the studio. That's how I make it work for me. But if you don't know, you're gonna try to accommodate people in a way that is outside of your true self. And then you're gonna be frustrated. Because now you're frustrated, you gotta deal with this whole visual setup, you gotta do something extra outside of who you are. And now, okay, how good is the show gonna be? The whole time you're gonna be sitting there, well, at least me, I'm gonna be like, I have to do a lot of fucking work. You better talk. Like, you better give me the holy grail right now. And then the last thing, this is going to really help you be resilient. You can't knock me down now. And do you know why you can't knock me down? Because I know who I am. You can't change that. Nothing you do can change that. No, nothing you can take from me will change that. Nothing you could give to me will change that. Nothing you could say to me will change that. I know exactly who the fuck I am. So you can't knock me down. How does that work? How do you tell me about what I believe about myself? That's not what's going on around here anymore. I was about to say not around here, but for real, that's really how it is. And because I've taken the time to align myself, I can do all these things. So I appreciate you guys for watching. How I want you guys to engage is, like I said, I need us all to do our top 3 priorities this week. We're gonna do it this whole month, but we're gonna start with this week, and I'm gonna check back in. I'm gonna start pointing fingers if I'm like, hey, I know you haven't been doing your top priorities. Why? Because you seem confused. I'm just gonna know. You should be at ease and happy as fuck. I walked in here happy as fuck. I had the craziest day, but I walked in here happy as fuck. Why? Who can change me? Nobody. I just got shit to do. Yeah. That's really it. What you gonna do? If you took my show from me, I just record it by myself. If you took my client, I'll just go get another one. If you don't want to show up, I'll do it myself. Like, what can you take from me? I'm super happy. And the reason why I'm super happy is because I know who I am. This is why I'm telling this, and this is why this episode was for my people in my 20s. I'm seeing a lot of y'all have crazy anxiety, and I know it's because you haven't taken time to learn yourself. You're so confused about everything because you're so confused about yourself. And I get it. You guys had technology way longer than I did. I had Snake on my fucking no color phone, okay? So I'm old, right? I'm literally there was no internet on my fucking first phone. So I had a Nokia. Let's talk about it. I had one of them blue Nokias, so let's talk about it, okay? One of them OG Nokias, yes. So I didn't have no social media problems. I didn't have to dress like a slut at 12 to have friends. Like, I didn't have to do all of that. But this seems to be what you guys have to do. Like, you guys have to keep up with the Joneses. My niece asked me for a $40 cup. I was like, what do you need with a $40 cup? She was like, all the kids in school have a $40 cup. It's the Stanley Cup or whatever. I don't even understand what that is. But I was like, you know that this is a $45 water bottle, right? It's a water bottle. So this is what I'm talking about. It's like, because it's cool to have a $45 water bottle, we have children asking for this shit. I don't know about y'all, but if I ever asked my mom for something that was $45, it damn sure wasn't a water bottle. It was never gonna be a cup. I was never gonna ask my mom for a $45 cup unless we were at Disney. That's the only time. But yes, so this is what I'm saying. It's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing a lot of kids hop on trends. I'm like, I'm going to go into real estate, and then you're broke at 22 because you literally only did this because you really like this podcaster. That's crazy. This is why I don't want this for you. I want you guys to find your true, authentic self and be them, because it's amazing. It's what we need in this world. Y'all keep talking about how everybody before you fucked it up, stop following in our footsteps. All of us are trying to be somebody else. Honestly. Ask most of the adults whether or not they chose a career based on themselves or their parents. Come on. So don't be like us. Don't be stuck in a rut making less money than you ever wanted because you decided your dad told you to be a doctor, so you need to be a doctor. Your mom wanted you to go to college. I went to college. Did I care about it? Not one bit. But I went, right? So this is what we don't want from you guys. We want you guys to live your purposeful life. We want you guys to live and thrive. You guys are starting all these businesses. I want you to finish them. I want you guys to drop the ish. I want you guys to be real bossies out here. You don't have to be a dragon lady unless that's you. And if that's you, you do that. You be her, because the rest of us can't. The rest of us are bunnies. So I need you to be you so that we can have some other girl look up to you who's also a dragon. They're going to see representation within themselves. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't yet, my book is out on Amazon. You can get your BOSSTIE annual planner on Amazon. That's what I was trying to say all together. So yes, thank you for watching this episode of Entrepreneurish. I'm your girl Ellie. I've been on Live Hip Hop Daily each and every Thursday at 7 with the crew Creative Visions. Woo! And we'll see you guys next week. Write your top 3 priorities.